Welcome back to 30 Days of Podcasting, your home for all things podcasting. I'm your host, Chris Hayes, and today we're talking about mindset. Because wrapping your head around what it takes to do what you're planning on doing, it's a mind game. You've already been over all of the foundational stuff, your why, your goals, your audience, your value, your message, all of it. You've recorded, you've got your content planned out with problems and solutions and an outline for the year. You're ready to go. You've recorded, you've got a host, you've got equipment, you've got it all. You've got all the pieces in place, all the dominoes are lined up. But there's something going on in your head right now that is like, I just don't know. And that's normal. It's fine. Stop it. That's the best thing I can tell you is stop it. Because honestly, mindset is all about, it's all in your mind. So we're going to talk about a few mindset tips and tricks and common hurdles that happen to most podcasters as they're starting and that come up from time to time, even once you've been going for a while. So the first one is just that I'm not able to do this. Like, this is not what I thought it would be, and I don't have the skills or this is not for me. And that may be true. But I also want you to think about it from this way. You're starting a brand new skill in a brand new field with skills that you've never used before, using technology you've maybe never used before, doing things way outside of what might be normal for you. Is this not for you? Maybe. Or maybe it's just that you don't have the skills built yet. You haven't worked those muscles enough. You haven't worked that creative part of your skill set yet. I want you to think about painting. If you were to paint something, just go down to the hobby store, buy a canvas and some paints, and go home, set up your canvas and start painting. Where could that painting live? Do you think it would be bought by an art dealer, hung up in a gallery at down at the Louvre in Paris? Probably not. Is it you're not a talented artist? Maybe. I don't know. I've not seen you paint. Most people don't paint. Most people think they can't paint. Does that mean that they couldn't learn? Well, how do you get better at painting? Well, you study it, you practice, you look at your work and you review it and you see what you like, what you don't like, where you messed up, where you should have used, better shading or contrast or, mixed your paints a better color. You start to learn about your canvas and your paints and how to use them better. This is podcasting. Your first few episodes may be terrible. You may try to re-record them multiple times because in your mind, you are not at that upper level yet, and you shouldn't be. You're starting from scratch. You're a beginner. It's fine. You're recording and you're releasing, and most podcasters have a small audience to start with. Think of it that way. You are not putting your painting up in the Louvre. You are putting your painting up at City Hall. People might see it, they might not, while they're waiting on to pay to get their garage sale approved. I don't know. I don't know what happens at City Hall. To start out, you are not podcasting to the masses. You're podcasting to a small group. You have time to get better, to practice these skills, to get used to talking into a microphone, to get used to talking to an audience that is not near you. That's really imaginary. Like, I don't know who's listening to this right now, but I know that you know, and you needed to hear that your mindset is a big hurdle and you can get over it. You will get better. I promise. If you put in the work and you practice and you keep releasing and you keep to your content plan and getting it better and better and better, you will get better. So put that one out of your mind. Another common, very common mindset hurdle that people come up to is just that there's not enough time. There's not time. This takes way more time than I thought it would, and I don't have time to do it, so I'm just going to drop it because it's not really helping my business, and it's not this or it's not that. I'm not seeing the numbers that I wanted, so I'm just going to stop because it's not what I thought it would be. want you to think back to the very beginning. Your why. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this because it is fun? Are you doing this because it's something for your business? Is there a better way you could be spending your time? We covered all that at the beginning so that when we got to this moment right now, that would not be a concern. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it's going to take a long time and a lot of hours and a lot of work. But you knew that. And you've already decided that you're going for it. So I want you to put that one aside also, because there is time. If this is something that's important for your why, your purpose for this whole thing, then there's time. You will find it. This podcast right now, I am recording at 11:21 in the evening at night because this is important to me. This is important that this message gets out to you because your mindset matters. And when you hit the point where you think that there's not time, there is. There is, and you can do this. Hang in there. The last thing that you're going to come up on is called imposter syndrome. It is common across all fields, and it will come and it will go and it will come back and it will go away. And imposter syndrome is this feeling that, this is not like I'm not qualified to do this even. Sure, I can talk into a microphone, I can publish, I can do all of the editing stuff and provide value. But who am I? I am not qualified for this at all. It's very common. Talk about that when it comes up with someone else who's in podcasting or someone who knows what's going on in your life. Because those feelings of, oh, I'm not qualified, I'm not enough. You are. You are enough, and what you're doing matters because there's someone in your audience who needs to hear from you. You might have 13 people listening to an episode. And some people would look at those numbers and say, oh, that is not worth it. But to those 13 people who show up every single episode to listen, to watch, to engage, you are making an impact on their life. So if you think you're not enough, that you're an imposter because you're not an expert in the field or whatever, you are enough. What you're doing is making an impact on their life. And they need you to keep showing up. You can do this. Part of podcasting is this mental mindset of we overcome. We do this because we want to do this. We don't do this for the money because most of us won't ever make a dime from podcasting. We don't do this because it's cool because most people are like, you're doing a what? A podcast. Those are people listen to those? Is that like talk radio? Most people don't get it yet. It's catching on. It's growing like wildfire, but the wildfire is still far away from most people. We do this because we want to, because we see the value to our audience that it provides to improve their lives and make things better. And we have a chance to do that. You have a chance to do that for your people. You will reach an audience I could never even imagine. I could never make an impact on their life, but you will. Because that's where you are. The absolute last one that we're going to visit real quick is this idea that everything has to be perfect. I have to have perfect audio. I have to have the perfect equipment. I have to have the perfect editing software. I have to have a perfect edit at the end of the day with no ums, no ahs, no breaths, no stutters, no repeats, no restarts. It all has to be pristine. And that is an enemy. That is a mindset that you need to put aside. Because the more time you spend trying to make things perfect, the longer it will take to get out. And that is the more time that you're investing in one episode when your audience needs you. See, there you go. Have some mic noise. When your audience needs you more than that. They don't need you spending 8 hours on a 10-minute episode because you got to have it perfect. They need you for more than that. They need the value that you're providing every single week. They don't need the pristine 10-minute clip. They don't need you to have your hair all in place for a YouTube video or an Instagram reel. They don't need you to be completely put together and scripted for TikTok. They need the value that you're providing, that you planned to provide. Because you know what they need. You know where they are. You know where they've been. You know where they're going. And you have to take them there. Perfection is the enemy of progress. You won't get better as a podcaster if you're constantly going back and re-reviewing and re-reviewing and re-releasing because you wanted to make it perfect. Go for it. Take the step forward and go for it. You are enough. You have the time. You know why you're doing this. Perfection is not your friend, it's your enemy. You take the next step and you go for it. You can do this. Record your next episode. Start planning it, interviewing, whatever you need to do. If you need to spend more time editing because you're doing like a true crime series and you have to put together a lot of interviews. Maybe you're telling a story of a place like Evan Stern last week, where you have a lot of content to edit through. That's fine. Do what you need to do to make your show what it is. But don't get locked up in the things that don't matter. Don't get locked up in the things that aren't producing your content. Because at the end of the day, your people are waiting for you. They're not waiting for perfection. So get out there, record, do what you do. And I will see you tomorrow for our next episode of 30 Days of Podcasting. Have a good one. Hey guys, make sure you subscribe, like the video to help out the algorithms, and hit the bell if you want notifications whenever we drop a new episode, which is every day for the month of July. If you want a longer format or an audio-only version, check us out wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Audible, all the places. We're there. So check it out, and we will see you soon.